All right, check 1, 2. Let's try this again. Although for those of you tuning in, this won't feel like again. It'll be the first time. But what you don't realize is that what the fuck? How is my battery? Hold on a second, people. Hold. Wait, fuck. Close that shit. All right, hold on, people. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. See, I'm having all sorts of fucking technical fucking difficulties today with this goddamn podcast. So this is probably my second or third time fucking starting this thing. But anyway, fucking it's the Friday. It's what is it? Fucking November 24th, the day after fucking Thanksgiving. Did you have a good one? Did you eat lots of turkey and ham and tons of other shit that you probably regret fucking shoving into your mouth hole? Did you guys do the fucking you sit around and you hold hands and you say, oh, I'm thankful for I know that there's got to be somebody out there that's like, oh, I'm thankful for the Houston Astros, even though I didn't I don't know why I'm doing it in a fucking stoner voice, but let's go with it. I'm thankful for the Houston Astros, even though I didn't fucking even know they were a team until they were fucking 5 games into to the fucking series. Don't you hate those fucking people? How many times have I said fuck in the past minute and a half? I can't stand people that suddenly you're a fucking lifelong fan, now that they're winning and shit. I mean, I know Houston, and I know that the fucking series happened, a couple of months ago or a month or two ago. I don't know. Once the fucking the Red Sox were out of it, I didn't give a fuck. But it bugs me because I know that there's somebody out there. It's like fucking, pretending like they love, like that shit happens here, right? I mean, I'm originally from fucking Boston, but I live in California, in the Bay Area specifically, and suddenly everybody's a fucking Warriors fan, or I don't know. The love for the fucking 49ers is gone. And same with the Raiders. Have they moved to Vegas yet? But suddenly everybody's a fucking Warriors fan, or when the fucking Giants were winning, suddenly everybody's a fucking fan, and it's like I don't know. I can't stand those. What are those fucking people, right? That they jump on board. When a team's fucking winning, but when they're not, there's nowhere to, they can't be anywhere to be seen or whatever. What the fuck is that? It has something to do with a ship, right? They fucking, no, it's not jumping ship. What the fuck is it? Bandwagoning. I hate fucking bandwagon fans. Like being from fucking Boston, there's 3 things that you're supposed to do if you're a true Bostonian. First of all, you love all of their fucking sports teams, no matter how they're fucking doing. Although it just so happens that, the fucking Pats, we can always depend on them for a fucking ring or two. But, you must love all the fucking teams, the Red Sox, the Patriots, the fucking Celtics over there. The other fucking thing is you must have an unnatural fucking hatred for the fucking Yankees. I don't know what's the fucking third one. You gotta, anybody that fucking disagrees with you call them a cunt. I don't know. But you better believe that I'm with the fucking Boston teams, whether we're fucking winning or we're fucking losing. It just so happens that most of the time we're winning. I'm fucking with you. But, I came here to the fucking Bay Area, and, like, when I first came here, the 49ers were fucking, the shit, right? I mean, I was a fan even of the 49ers, even for coming here, but, everybody was a fan, naturally, but as soon as they, the same thing with the fucking Raiders, although they haven't fucking won shit since, what? I don't know, the late 80s, although I wasn't here during that time, but I don't know. what the fuck am I talking about? I'm just saying that you know, like, until the fucking Warriors showed up, I knew like one dude, right? There was this one guy that I worked with that was a huge fucking Warriors fan, and this was before fucking Steph Curry and what do they call them? The fucking Splash Brothers. It was before all of them. You know, he was a fucking huge Warriors fan. Had a fucking tattoo down his forearm of the Warriors. So like I could say, was a true Warriors fan. But I didn't hear anybody mention the Warriors until they started fucking winning and dominating with their fucking pile-on team that they got there now. Oh yeah, I'm not giving you a fucking break, Warriors fans. You're basically, your team right now is basically the fucking Yankees back in the early 2000s and shit, you know, with their bought and paid for. I mean, they're basically the Yankees or the fucking the Lakers during fucking Kobe Bryant's fucking run. You know, it's just a pile-on team with fucking superstars. It's like right now the Warriors have the equivalent of like 4 Michael Jordans on their fucking team. You know, it's just, if you don't fucking win with that fucking team, then you probably don't deserve to fucking play the game. But what did this have to do with fucking being thankful? I don't know. I can't fucking stand P. I know that there's somebody that at the fucking dinner table was like, you know, the fucking Houston Astros. I mean, I was fucking, I always knew they'd come around even though I didn't know who the fuck they were. 6 months ago or whatever. But anyway, I don't know why I'm such a fucking grouch. It's early. Although it's not really fucking early. It's like almost 1 o'clock over here. So I don't know. I'm just waking up from not just waking up, but I'm just in a fucking funk because I ate way too much food, and I realized that I'm going to have to spend the next fucking 2 weeks at the gym just basically fucking living there to burn this bullshit off. So, I don't know. Anyway, how the fuck are you guys doing? This is the effing podcast for those of you that are, I don't know, unaware of what the fuck you're listening to. I do a couple of these a week, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, although this week I did one on Monday and I'm doing one today. I didn't have a chance to do any more during the week because I was getting fucking ready for the fucking holiday. How pissed off are Native American people that we still continue to do this shit, right? I mean, we won't change the name of the fucking of our football teams or our baseball teams, and we still celebrate the day that old fucking Christopher Columbus there came here and fucking gave everybody smallpox or whatever the fuck it was. Wasn't it like in the blankets or some shit? I don't know. I mean, I don't look, I don't fucking celebrate Thanksgiving, it's just time to fucking eat more food than you normally would. That's basically how I look at Thanksgiving. I don't look at it as like, let's celebrate how we, and by we, I don't mean, I don't know. I'm sure that, no, I don't even think, none of my fucking ancestors had anything to do with this shit unless they were from fucking Portugal or the Philippines, or Africa. So, I think we don't really have a fucking dog in that fight as far as who fucking, stole all the land there. But, where the fuck was I going with this? But yeah, fucking, I mean, I don't know. Do I really want to talk about the trials and tribulations of the Native Americans? I mean, it's been really fucked up, and it just continues to do so. I mean, with the fucking pipeline that just burst, that they had been fighting against having running through their fucking land. It turns out that like 200,000 something fucking gallons or liters or whatever the fuck just spilled, and actually they're saying that it's probably more than that. It's got to be rough. realizing that, you know what, it might be 2017, but it might, they might as well be dealing with some guy in a funny hat that just got off a fucking boat and thought he was in fucking India. I mean, it's just gotta be fucking horrific if you're Native American in this country. And it doesn't seem to be getting any fucking better. I don't know. So, if you're Native American, you're listening to this, I know it's not fucking happy Thanksgiving. I mean, like Thanksgiving is basically just a reminder, right? That, that your family members basically fucking, got treated like shit and continue to get, I don't know. Should we even call it Thanksgiving anymore? Thanksgiving. Such a fucking weird word, right? Thanksgiving, like, as though anything was fucking given to the fucking settlers that came here. It wasn't, it was more like thanks taking, or thanks stealing, thanks killing, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but you know what I'm fucking thankful for? If I'm gonna pretend as if I found any fucking enjoyment with this fucking holiday, I'm thankful that it took me about 40, no, not 40. It took me about 30 something years to, not even 30 something years. Let's go with about 27 years. It took me about 27 years to finally not give a fuck that my calves are fucking small. With the fucking invent of fucking skinny jeans and shit, and everybody deciding to, only eat a fucking cracker before 5 p.m. in the fucking evening, being thin, at least as a guy, or having thin fucking limbs, it's become okay, and for once I can put on a pair of shorts and, like, you know what, I don't give a fuck that I got chicken legs. I don't know if it has anything to do with skinny jeans or just the fact that I've finally reached that age of I just don't give a fuck. Well, mostly it's because I didn't wear fucking shorts to Thanksgiving, but one of my sister's fucking husband's, I don't know, cousins or some shit, he came, he had shorts on, and he had these fucking ridiculously skinny fucking legs. I mean, have you ever seen fucking like pictures of Manute Bol? Just, he used to play for the fucking Warriors. I think he played for a bunch of fucking teams, but go look up his image if you don't know what I'm talking about, or go, not his image, but go look him up, look for fucking pictures. I believe you spell it Menute, Menutebol is his last name. Those are two words, by the way. First name is Manute, last name is Bol. Look at a picture of his, like, his leg. I mean, he's fucking 7, what was he, 7'7" or some shit. He just has some ridiculously fucking skinny legs. And this dude that showed up yesterday, he like, if they were putting on a contest for fucking skinniest legs, he might give fucking Manute Bol a run for his fucking money. And just after seeing that, I was like, you know what? My legs are not, they're not big. They're actually kind of fucking feminine. Every fucking, or most girls that I've come across throughout this journey of whatever the fuck it is that I'm doing, most of them are like, oh, I wish I could have your legs because they're fucking long and slender. Which, when they say that type of shit, it doesn't make me feel too good. But I realized that, you know what, if the ladies like my fucking legs, then, that should be good, right? Because I don't really give a shit how a fucking dude feels about them. So on this Thanksgiving of 2017, I'd want to say I'm thankful for my fucking chicken legs. And if you got chicken legs and you're a guy, let me be your fucking beacon of hope. Because it took me a long time to be comfortable even wearing fucking shorts. And if I did wear shorts, they would be ridiculously long to the point where, fellas, let me give you a little fucking fashion fashion tip out there. If you wear shorts that go like below your knee, what happens, especially if you have skinny fucking legs, what happens is your legs look even skinnier. But it also makes you look shorter, right? So if you're a short guy, even with muscular legs or big legs or whatever, if you're a short guy, it looks even worse if you're wearing shorts that are longer than or that go below your fucking knee. It's not a good look. Yes, from your perspective, especially if you have skinny legs, it's like, oh, I don't see my fucking calves. Good fucking job from your perspective. But from everybody else's perspective, what it looks like is that you have these like fucking, like you're walking around on fucking stilts. So if you want a fucking fashion tip from some jackass on a fucking podcast, the way to go is to wear shorts that either fall directly in the middle of your knee or preferably above it. Now I know what the guys with the fucking chicken legs are thinking, like, I don't want to fuck, that's going to make me look crazy. Trust me, it looks better. It takes the focus off of how thin your fucking legs are. Oh, and another fucking tip is when you buy shorts, you want the legs to fucking taper. You don't want a big fucking leg opening, right? You want them to fucking taper. You want them to fucking fit. You don't want them so fucking tight. I mean, you don't want them tight. You don't want to be showing fucking nut cleavage, but you definitely want a tapered leg. And that's my fucking fashion tip for people with fucking skinny legs, or if you're short. If you're short with skinny legs, then I don't know. You got fucking more issues than I can fucking solve with my fashion tips. But if you are short, if you're short and you have an issue with the fact that you're short, then do not wear fucking shorts that fall below your knee. They either need to be, you would be better off definitely going for a cut that falls above the fucking knee. Now, if you're a regular sized dude, you can go mid knee, but no further. What the fuck did I turn into to fucking Ralph Lauren over here? I don't know. Wear whatever the fuck you want. I'm just trying to help you out. For me, I look at myself now in the fucking mirror and it's like, well, yeah, my legs are fucking slim, but my shorts look fucking good, and they don't fucking highlight the fucking thinness of my calves. So whatever. Any fucking way. I don't know. Has anybody been paying attention to, I mentioned this on, I believe on Monday's podcast, the net neutrality thing that they're getting ready to, or I don't know, maybe they already have, they're getting ready to get rid of the fucking regulations. And for those of you that are still, you have no idea what the fuck net neutrality is, to make it fucking simple, it basically, the rules or protections that we have in place, because that's the thing that they don't want to, they never put it that way, right? Whenever they're talking about net neutrality, they always talk about like, oh, regulations, and people get depending on how you feel about regulations, some people abhor them. They feel like, oh, you're controlling what I fucking can and cannot do with my business. Yeah, the typical fucking Republican spiel. Same thing can be said about the Democrats before anybody's like, well, oh, this guy, watch out, he's a fucking libtard. Nah, I don't like the Democrats either, but Republicans are fucking notorious for always wanting to do away with regulations. Well, the thing about net neutrality, while they'll frame it as internet regulations, what they are, or what net neutrality is, are internet protections, right? And basically what that is, or what I mean by that, is that with net neutrality in place, it prevents one ISP provider or internet provider from basically holding a monopoly over web traffic, right? And for those of you who are like, well, what the fuck does that mean? And basically what it means is they can control network speeds. They can also block whatever websites that they well, maybe not block completely, but like if you do a fucking search, what you'll get is what they prefer you, the websites that they prefer you land on. That's what they'll do. They'll basically shrink, like a small business or whatever. They'll shrink their ability to be seen when you do a fucking search. They can also do things like, like I said, control web speeds. If like, let's say Comcast, for example, right? They are in control of all the mainstream media, right? Well, not all of it, but they definitely are. They definitely control like MSNBC and CNN and that sort of thing. So if you do a search and you're trying to get to the bottom of some sort of fucking scandal or whatever, they can basically make it next to impossible for you to find any information that doesn't sort of revolve around their narrative of how things are or what happened. So basically what it does is it removes your ability to have access to information, and gives them fucking the ability to basically be a propaganda machine, which is what the mainstream media is at this point. And so if they do away with these fucking protections, then these corporations can essentially create a monopoly in regards to internet traffic, and can limit your ability to fucking, enjoy a free internet search. Obviously you shouldn't be looking at things like fucking child porn or, stuff to that degree, the stuff that, you'd probably find in the, what they call it, the deep web or the dark web or whatever. But as far as everything else, that's not fucking nefarious, right now you're able to fucking, do a search and have multiple options to choose from as far as where you want to, or what information you want to be privy to. But if they do away with those protections, you can pretty much kiss that freedom goodbye. And even even Comcast, they've released a statement like, oh, we will never fucking throttle, which is, when they say they're going to, they won't fucking throttle a network or whatever, what that means is they won't try and slow down the fucking, the web page speeds, right? Because we live in a society where we're very impatient. And we're very, if something doesn't happen instantly for us, a lot of us will lose our fucking shit, right? It's why, when somebody's fucking, I don't know, they want to watch a fucking video and it's fucking buffering for X amount of time, why people will get fucking frustrated. And especially if it's buffering for longer than they feel that a video should buffer for, the likelihood that they will fucking just move on to something else is very high. So like Comcast, they release a statement that, oh, we'll never fucking throttle fucking websites or whatever, even though they've been caught doing that even before the threat to net neutrality even was a thing. They were caught doing that. They've been sued numerous fucking times. They cannot be fucking trusted. It is basically putting the fucking fox in charge of the fucking hen house. And anybody that thinks that's a good idea is a fucking idiot. And for those of you that are not paying attention, they're just like, it doesn't affect me. Yes, it does affect you. And the fact that you're choosing to not even understand about what they're trying to do, the fucking, they're basically telling you what you can and cannot fucking look up on the internet. They're essentially turning our country, as far as the internet is concerned, into like how China is, where they actually censor things and you're not allowed to look at certain sites or to browse certain topics, or if you happen to be looking at something that they consider dissenting against the fucking narrative of the country, that they can end up fucking, throwing you in prison. Anybody that at this point you're still not paying attention because you're too busy worrying about fucking some other bullshit, or because you're too busy drinking fucking kale shakes, and you're just like, I don't have the fucking the energy to invest in worrying about that. I have to think about this other shit. Well, we are on the verge of basically becoming another China, or or even worse, another North Korea. They're already doing everything they can, and by they I mean the fucking government, the corporations. They're doing everything they can to stamp out any sort of dissenting fucking voice. They're trying to make protesting illegal. And that's in the fucking Constitution. You're allowed to fucking protest. They're trying to make it illegal. They're starting to call protesters terrorists. Like somebody did protests, I don't know, like the thing in DAPL, right? The Dakota Access Pipeline. They were calling the people that were protesting that didn't want these fucking pipelines running through their water supply. They're calling those people environmental terrorists, right? And if you label somebody a terrorist thanks to the fucking Patriot Act, you could end up in Guantanamo Bay. So think about that as you're fucking talking about, I can't be fucking bothered by that shit. You are forfeiting rights because you're choosing to not fucking educate yourself about what's going on. And you're also, if you are somewhat fucking informed, or what you like to consider to be informed, if you're falling for the typical Republican message of where we're trying to get rid of regulations and big fucking government and all that other fucking horse shit, just keep in mind that if you insert protection where they say regulation, you'll know exactly what they're trying to do. So like with the EPA, right? They're trying to get rid of the strict EPA regulations. Well, what it really is they're trying to get rid of the strict EPA protections, meaning protecting your fucking water, the fucking environment. Does anybody think it's a good idea to get rid of protections over your water supply, for example? Or when they talk about regulations on the food industry, does anybody think it's a good idea to get rid of the protections that keep you from, I don't know, fucking ingesting meat of a cow that's fucking eating another cow, or a chicken that fucking sits around in its own shit all day? Does anybody think it's a good idea to get rid of the fucking protections? You see, they've been using this fucking code language that nobody really understands for a very long time. And the reason for that is because people have allowed these fucking talking heads in their $8,000 fucking Armani suits to basically tell them how shit is, instead of actually taking the time to figure out what exactly they're fucking doing. So from this point forward, anytime you hear, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, talk about lessening regulations on something, what they're talking about is getting rid of the protections, the things that were fucking keeping you from, I don't know, ingesting lead every time you take a fucking drink of water. Or, you know, or we're protecting you against eating fucking food that hasn't been inspected by the FDA or the USDA or whatever. Every time they say regulation, what they're talking about is getting rid of a fucking protection. You know, and this idea that, oh, if, you know, these regulations are keeping the fucking, you know, they're keeping companies from fucking thriving is horse shit. Because if you pay any attention to the numbers on Wall Street, where, you know, which is basically, you know, a list of fucking which companies are doing well, they've been having record-breaking fucking profits for a long fucking time. None of their companies or corporations are dwindling due to fucking protections. Whenever they're trying to get rid of protections and they mention, you know, the how it's affecting business, basically what they're saying is we're trying to get rid of the protections that keep these corporations from basically becoming trillionaires and buying more fucking yachts. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the rich even richer by sacrificing your fucking safety. That's what they're doing. You know. But yeah, the fucking, you know, the net neutrality, it looks like it's on its way out, and it's all because people are just, they're too busy with other shit. You know, they're too busy worrying about people, you know, giving a speech at a college or carrying a fucking tiki torch or kneeling for the fucking anthem or whatever the fuck. You know, they're just so fucking upset about that, and they're just completely unaware of what is really fucking happening. You know. And you know how I know this? I know this because I see people online getting excited about fucking emojis. Right? I guess with the new fucking Apple update, which, you know, I got to, you know, I see here and there people like, oh, have you seen the new fucking emojis? Oh, the new fucking emojis. Who gives a fuck about emojis? The fact that it's even a fucking word is absurd. Why are you excited about this bullshit? You want to know exactly how we got to this point where we have a fucking a child as president and a fucking a government filled with the most corrupt and crooked people that, you know, on earth? You want to know how we got there? Is because we're too busy fucking worrying about, oh, well, what sort of fucking emoji is going to represent how I'm feeling? Or, you know, or what sort of fucking condensed, what do they call them? Fucking antonyms or whatever, where they, you know, the laughing out loud. Oh, it's too, I can't say that. I gotta say LOL. Or laughing my fucking, when have you ever laughed your fucking ass off at anything being said on the internet? I mean, yeah, you might have got a chuckle, but really you laughed so hard that your ass fell off. And I know that it's not supposed to be taken literally, but there's a lot of people, you know, laughing at some really fucking stupid shit. You know. Why am I so goddamn angry? I don't know, people, but what I do know is you need to start paying attention. And stop worrying about fucking emojis or which new fucking device is coming out, or you know, who had a fucking who's got a sex tape, or who's fucking you know, exercising their constitutional right to fucking protest. You need to stop worrying about that shit and start paying attention to these fucking rich cunts that are doing everything they fucking possibly can to get richer, and basically to you know, make you even more, or have your fucking life even harder. right? They just did a study, right? That anybody that makes minimum wage in this country, there is nowhere where you could rent a 2-bedroom apartment. Nowhere in the country if you're making minimum wage. Think about that. That is ridiculous. Considering there are a fucking assload of people making minimum wage. They've done a study. It turns out that half of the country's population is living in poverty. The richest nation in the world, half of the fucking citizens are living in poverty. And that number is increasingly fucking going up. I mean, think about it. We could have not really free healthcare, but, single payer where we basically all have Medicare. We could have that. But instead, we can't have that. We can't have fucking free education, but we can have is an $80 billion increase to the fucking Pentagon. And no fucking debate, no fucking town halls, nobody fucking, asking, where's the money going to come from? How are we going to pay that? No, just, we need it. Oh, there you go. You have it. But when it comes to something that would actually benefit the fucking citizenry, oh no, where's the money going to come from? How are we going to pay for it? I mean, if you're still in this day and age, you're still clueless about what is going on in the country or how we fucking ended up with Donald Trump, or if you're one of these dipshits that actually thinks that the only reason that Trump that the reason that we have Trump as a president is because of fucking Russia, or I don't know, fucking Jill Stein or Susan Sarandon or some other fucking horse shit, then you don't deserve to be in this country. If you're that goddamn clueless, you do not deserve to be in this fucking country. If you can't figure out that the reason that we have a fucking billionaire reality star as president is because billionaires and fucking millionaires have been in control of our country since the fucking, I would say, late 70s, early 70s, maybe even before that. I mean, technically, they were in charge right before the fucking Great Depression. That's what caused the fucking Great Depression, is that we gave the power, over to fucking corporations and fucking, what they call them, robber barons or whatever. The Great fucking Depression happened. Then FDR comes along and he pulls us out of it. And how does he do it? By putting the fucking the American people first, the worker first, by giving things like Medicare and Medicaid and welfare and Social Security. There's a reason why they had to, after FDR fucking died, why they suddenly decided that there needs to be term limits on the presidency. Because before that, I mean, they had elected him president like anywhere between 3 to 5 times, which means he was in power for close to 20 fucking years. That's how much everybody loved him and his policies. And then when he died, fucking the Democrats and Republicans that, or the corporatist fucking Democrats and Republicans, the establishment, were like, oh, we can't fucking have that again. We can't take the chance of the people electing somebody they actually fucking like, that actually tries to fucking do something good for them. We can't have that happening again. So now we'll make it an 8-year limit. You can only be elected twice. If you're still, after me fucking saying this, you're still, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're still like, oh, the problem is the people that either make the same amount of money or make less than me, or they have a different fucking color to their skin, or they pray to a different fucking wizard. If you're still in that space, then you do not deserve to live in this fucking country, because you don't really deserve to live, period, because apparently you are an absolute fucking idiot. I got news for you, right wingers that are all upset at fucking blacks and Jews and everybody else. Those are not the reason. Those people are not the reason that you fucking had your house foreclosed upon, or your fucking job dried up, or the factory that you were living in fucking went overseas or over the border. Those people are not the reason that your life fucking sucks. You know who is the fucking reason? It's the corporations. It's the rich fucking cunts in the $8,000 fucking suits that tell you, you should hate that guy because he has a different, he looks different from you. You should hate that guy because, he's coming over here to take jobs that fucking nobody wants. Jimmy Dore had a good saying, and I've said it before on this, and I'm going to butcher it, but if you find yourself angry and blaming people that are lower than you on the economic ladder, that have no money and no power and no real ability to have legitimately affected your life, chances are somebody higher up on the ladder than you is convincing you to do so. You're so angry at people of color, or somebody that fucking exercises their constitutional rights to protest police brutality. You're so angry at that. And you don't even realize that you have no real reason to be upset with them. Especially since people of color, at least, in this country, don't have the fucking power or the money to do any of the shit that you're so fucking upset about. People with no money and no power can't do shit. They have no ability to affect change in this country. The people that you should be upset about or upset at are the ones that drive around, in fucking limousines, or live in gated fucking communities, that wear fucking, $8,000 to $10,000 fucking suits and have fucking yachts and shit and take vacations in Martha's Vineyard. Those are the people that caused the problems for you. So at this point, I don't know how I ended up, yelling at you guys. I was talking about the fucking Houston Astros not too long ago. But the point is that if at this point you're still fucking that clueless, that you think that the reason that the country isn't fucking great, for those of you that are 100% behind fucking Donald Trump, if you think it's because people with no power and no money got it to that point, you're an idiot. And if you're one of these people that thinks that, if we had only elected Hillary, it wouldn't be so bad, you too are also a fucking idiot, because she is up there with the fucking oligarchy as well. She's the one fucking at these fucking parties in the Hamptons with Republicans and other Democrats. Tell me, if you really feel strongly against, let's say your neighbor. Right? Let's say that you've decided that, I don't know, you're trying to divide up the land that you live on. And one side is like, well, I deserve, more land than you. And the other side is like, no, I deserve more land than you. Could you really, if you're one of those people, could you go to a fucking party with them and laugh it up and be like, ha ha ha, I'm so against you? It's all one fucking party. The corporations and the fucking oligarchy run this country. This idea that Democrats and Republicans are, that these fucking politicians are any different from one another simply because they have a fucking D or an R next to their name, that is a fucking pipe dream. And the only way that they stay in power is by keeping you distracted with bullshit like, be upset at those Mexicans. Or don't let that fucking guy with the different opinion of mine, don't let him speak at a fucking, at a college. Oh, be mad at the guy that's fucking protesting police brutality, but let's pretend that he's protesting the fucking anthem or the country, or he's offending fucking the military, even though it was a Green Beret that told him that the best way to fucking protest would be to take a fucking knee. Oh no, let's be all distracted with that bullshit while these rich fucking cunts at their fucking eyes wide shut parties are destroying the fucking country. Oh, let's all be upset at one another, even though none of us has the fucking power or the power or the money to fucking change any of this shit. Oh, let's pretend like we're the fucking problem. Oh yeah, they want to get rid of fucking regulations on environmental protections. Oh yeah, that sounds like a great fucking idea. You know, I mean, I'm so fucking frustrated at this point. Because everybody is bitching about shit, but you guys are all fucking angry at the wrong goddamn thing. Or if you are angry at the right thing, the only amount of fucking action you take is firing off fucking hashtags and forwarding the fucking articles of somebody else that's angry that happened to say the thing that you wanted to say but says it much better. That is what qualifies as fucking activism now. And it's exactly why the country is failing. It's been failing since the fucking 80s. But, the reason that everybody's suddenly aware of how fucking bad it is because, thankfully, even though I hate to give this guy fucking praise, but thankfully to fucking Trump, it took us having a fucking crazy person, a legitimately fucking psychotic person that just fucks up everything that he could possibly fuck up. It took electing that guy for people to finally wake up and be like, you know what? The fucking country is not a paradise. And if you think that if we had Hillary Clinton instead of him, if you think things would have been better, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, we wouldn't have somebody that's openly fucking racist up there leading the country. We wouldn't have somebody that fucking, can't go 5 minutes without getting into a fucking Twitter battle. Yeah, we'd have that. But what we would still have, we'd still have fucking 7 fucking wars. We'd still have fucking corporations controlling the fucking country. The rich would still get rich. The poor would still get jack shit. We wouldn't have any fucking, we'd still have a shitty fucking healthcare system. People would still be fucking, going without fucking food or having to make a decision between, I don't know, having fucking medication and living or having something to fucking eat. None of that shit would fucking change, which is exactly how we got to fucking Trump in the first place. So this idea that, if we had had Hillary, it would have been better. No, what we would have had is just somebody that we enjoy looking at, that makes us feel safe, but isn't really doing anything to fucking change shit. That's all we'd fucking have. Oh, and she'd have a fucking clam. I'm fucking sick of people. I'm sick of the bitching. If you're not gonna, I've said this in previous podcasts. If you're not gonna do anything to fucking fix it, if all you're gonna do is just bitch and fucking, join in this solidarity of fucking, Me Too and fucking never Trump or never Hillary or whatever the fuck it is, if that's all you're fucking doing, then you need to just shut the fuck up. You want things to change in this country, it's time for you to get up off your ass, get away from your fucking keyboard or put your fucking phone down and actually do something about it. The fucking, and I don't mean go out there and get some fucking signs and march down the street and try and show how civilized you can be. No, I'm sorry. The days of fucking peaceful fucking protest or waiting for somebody that's a fucking cunt to suddenly wake up and realize that being a cunt is not such a good idea, those days are fucking over. You want to change shit, you gotta fucking do shit. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying, at least with, the days of peaceful protest. I'm not saying go and fucking tear up your neighborhood or light your neighborhood on fire. I'm not saying any of that shit. Because it's stupid to destroy your own fucking community because you're upset. Go and fucking infiltrate the places that are responsible for why shit's fucked up. I said this a long time ago when we were hearing about, every other day, somebody that was African American being shot and killed by the police. You want to change the fucking police? Then infiltrate the police. Become a police officer. Fucking slowly, well, not even slowly, you demand fucking change. You go in there, you become a police officer, and you be the type of police officer that you wish that they would be. And if you are a police officer and you're like, I fucking hate the fact that we have so much corrupt shit, well, at some point you're going to have to grow a pair of balls and stop hiding behind, they're gonna think I'm a rat. They're gonna fucking put they're gonna put a dirty fucking letter on my car or whatever. You have to grow some fucking balls and call shit out and enough with it's the police's job to come home safe at night. No, it's fucking not. I got news for you people out there. They're like, Blue Lives Matter. It's not the police's job to come home safe at night. Their job is to keep people safe so they can come home safe at night. If you're not there to protect the fucking community, then why are you a police officer? You shouldn't be a police officer if your number one goal is to come home safe at night. If that's your fucking goal, then go get a job at McDonald's or Taco Bell or fucking digging up rock or fucking, pounding wood with a fucking hammer. Because that's not a policeman's job. Your job is to make sure we, the fucking citizens, the civies or whatever the fuck you want to call them, the civilians, It's your job to make sure we come home safe at night, not you. You don't like what let's take fucking Nestle, the corporation that's trying to basically say that water is not a human right, and they're looking for ways to fucking capitalize on the fucking rain. You don't like them? Then don't buy their fucking products. And yeah, they have their hands in a lot of fucking things, but you can do the research, you can find out who Nestle is fucking partnered with, and you could hurt them financially, because that's the only way you're really going to convince these corporations to cut out this fucking bullshit. You have to hit them financially. You don't like, I said this on a previous podcast. You don't like that fucking Apple, has facilities in fucking China where people are launching themselves out of the fucking window because the work fucking environment is so fucking horrific. Then stop buying Apple products. I mean, number one would be to get it out of your head that because something has a picture of a fucking apple with a bite in it, that it somehow is more superior than anything else, or that it somehow gives you a higher fucking status in life. You need to change that. And then when you change that, then you need to stop purchasing their shit until they fucking, they either... Well, not even either. That they fucking change the working conditions. And more importantly, if you're one of these people that is like, all our fucking corporations are overseas. Well, then you hit them financially and tell them, look, we're not buying another fucking thing from you until you move your shit back here. I mean, all of these problems that everybody's so like, how do we fucking solve it? They're all fucking simple. What they require is not easy, but they're all fucking simple. It requires you to maybe sacrifice a little bit of your fucking convenience. To maybe fucking not care so much about, whether or not you have the latest and greatest fucking product. I mean, who is that for? I mean, even like the new iPhone that people stupidly fucking stood in line for and paid, you know, what, 15, somewhere between 12 to 15 fucking $100 for. Really, is there something on the phone now that is worth that fucking price tag? Who is it for? Is it because it had a feature that you absolutely needed, or is it that you just needed to fucking show everybody that, look, I fucking have money. I bought this new overpriced piece of shit. I'm fucking sick of it. I know you guys are like, well, who the fuck are you and why should we fucking care about how you feel? You shouldn't. You should care about how you feel. You should care. If you have kids, you should care about their fucking future, because if we continue to let the fucking corporations dictate how things are going to be in this country, if we never ever fucking take a stand, if we spend all of our fucking time, you know, bickering amongst ourselves about shit that I'm sorry, if you hate black people or you hate Mexicans or you hate Muslims, it doesn't make any fucking sense. The only reason you hate them is because you've convinced themselves that somehow their existence has somehow infringed upon your own. The reason that you don't have the fucking, you know, 2-story house and the fucking white picket fence and the fucking dog and the, you know, the so-called American dream, you've convinced yourself that they're the reasons, or they're the ones keeping you from it, when in reality, it's the rich fucking cunt that's sitting on his yacht right now, not giving a fuck about the fact that the factory that you worked in, you know, is fucking gone. Or that you got fucking, you know, you got your house foreclosed upon due to their unscrupulous fucking practices. This is why I'll never get behind me. Just with the fucking mortgage thing and the banks. This is why I'll never get on board with the Obama was fucking awesome crowd that everybody loves being a part of. He came in, and instead of breaking up those banks that were using fucking illegal practices basically caused the mortgage fucking meltdown. Instead of coming in and breaking them up and prosecuting all of the fucking fraud and shit that was going on that caused those fucking problems that resulted in maybe your fucking grandmother or your mom or somebody, or maybe even you losing your fucking house, instead of fucking doing anything, he made them bigger. He gave them fucking money. He bailed them out. Meanwhile, 5 million fucking people lost their home to foreclosure due to these fucking bankers that were doing illegal shit in the first place. Just that fact alone, and that's not even, the only reason to not fucking like Obama. But that's a huge one, especially if you're one of these people that lost your fucking house. You know, so if you're one of these people like, oh, I don't like them because they're black, I don't like them because they're Latin, or I don't like them because they pray to some other fucking wizard in the sky, you have been convinced to blame everybody except for the fucking people who are actually at fault. Am I saying that, racism is suddenly, you know, if you look at everything from my perspective, that racism is going to disappear? No, it's not going to fucking disappear, but it should drop dramatically if you stop focusing on the shit that isn't the reason your life fucking sucks. And you refocus it on the people, the corporations, the rich fucking cunts that are doing anything they can to make sure that they have a few more fucking nickels. Because at this point, you know, like with the billionaires, it's just a competition of how much more of a fucking billionaire am I than this guy. They don't give a fuck about your fucking plight or the future of your fucking children. They don't give a flying fuck about it. Because if they did, we'd have a living wage. We'd have a fucking a universal income. And, you know, for those of you who are like, well, what the fuck is that? It's a basic fucking income that allows everyone to have a fucking house over their fucking head and food on their fucking table. Now, I know what the uninformed are going to say, oh, it's fucking socialism, or it's communism. No. Although socialism and communism are not that bad of fucking ideas if you don't look at the fucking extremes in which the negative side of those two things came about. Having a universal income or universal health care or fucking, a universal education system, all that does is just, it takes care of the fucking basics. It makes sure that, you know what, that you don't end up on the fucking street babbling to yourself because you couldn't get your fucking medication. Or it keeps you from fucking not having to make a decision between, well, do I get my meds and continue to live, or do I buy food? It won't stop people from fucking working harder to exceed. It won't get rid of competition, as a lot of these fucking rich millionaire, billionaire cunts on the fucking right like to convince people of. It isn't going to get rid of that, because obviously, I mean, who's fucking satisfied with the bare minimum? Have you ever gone, like, if you're going to buy a car, right? And they're like, well, you could have this basically this bare minimum fucking car for this amount, but if you paid a little bit more, you'd have all this extra cool shit. Who's like, you know what? I'd rather have the bare minimum. I understand you're going to make that decision if all you can afford is the bare minimum. But if you can afford the extra shit, you're telling me you're going to choose the bare minimum? No, you're fucking not. So this idea that, oh, if you give people, a universal fucking income or universal health care or universal whatever, oh, that everybody's going to turn into a lazy fucking lump, that is horse shit. Because it is built into our fucking DNA to want more, to innovate, to have something better, to compete with one another. Yes, there are going to be some people that are just like, fuck it, I'm not going to do shit. But that still exists now, even without it. The reason that you can't go on vacation, the reason that you have to work fucking 12, 15, 17 hours a fucking a day, and you never get a fucking day off, or if you do, it's only for like half an hour. It isn't because of the guy that decided, I don't want to work. The reason that you can't do that is because your fucking company doesn't pay you enough to work regular fucking hours and therefore have the money to take a fucking vacation. That is who is at fault. Stop blaming everybody else but the fucking people that are the fucking reason for why your life is where it is. I mean, could you imagine how much different would life be for you if you're in the middle class? I mean, obviously, if you're fucking the 1%, I mean, chances are you're not listening to this shit anyways. And if you are, you're like, you probably clicked off a long time ago the minute I started fucking blaming you. But if you're just in the middle class, or you're in poverty and you're listening to this, how different or how much less stress would your life be filled with if you didn't really have to worry about the basic shit? And by basic, I mean having a roof over your fucking head, food on your fucking table, the ability to go see a fucking doctor if you need to. How much less stress would be in your life if you had that? I'm guessing a lot. And I'm guessing that anything that you wanted besides the basic shit you would feel like you're actually accomplishing something, right? That it would stop feeling like, well, fuck, I gotta work like a fucking dog to take 2 days off to go, fucking play, fucking a hand of fucking blackjack in Vegas. It just becomes, you know what? I'm going to work harder so that I can fucking have this, or I can go there, or I can fucking do this. So this idea, or this fucking stance that especially people on the right that they fucking take, like, oh, these fucking lazy people, and even though it's the guy that's fucking working me 17 hours a day and paying me fucking minimum wage and constantly on my fucking ass and always threaten me with the fucking possibility of replacing me with either a fucking robot or somebody that will do it for more. Oh, it's not their fucking fault. It's the guy that fucking doesn't that has chosen not to fucking work. Oh, it's that guy's fault. Or it's the guy with the nappy hair and the dark skin. Oh, it's all his fault that I have to work fucking 17 hours a day and I get fucking 15 minutes off for a fucking break. Oh, it's all his guy. It's not the guy that actually is in control of the fucking company I work for. Oh no, it's the black guy, or it's the Mexican guy, or it's the Muslim. Do you realize how fucking retarded that is? And I know that if you are one of these people that's racist, I know that you have to unpack a lot of this racism. A lot of it probably, started when you were a kid, or maybe your parents were like this, and you've been racist for so long. It seems like just a part of you. To me or to you, it's like it doesn't even feel like racism. That's just how I view the fucking world. I understand that it's not easy to fucking change your thinking when your entire life has revolved around it's all the fucking black guy's fault, or it's all the Mexican guy's fault, or it's all the Muslim's fault. I understand it's not easy, but you have to keep in mind, or you have to realize or wake up at some fucking point and realize that people with no money and no fucking power are not the reason that your life is shitty. At some point, you got to stop blaming them and maybe fucking blame yourself for being so goddamn dumb. And I know it's hard to win people over when you fucking insult them, but let's be realistic. Let's call a fucking spade a spade, or whatever the fuck it is. You're fucking dumb if you've convinced yourself that the reason that America isn't great again, or isn't great or whatever, is because of some people that have no power and no fucking money. And it's not the people with power and with money's fault, then you are a fucking idiot. And I'm not going to pretend like my entire life I've felt this way. I've been on that fucking boat of idiocy. Hell, when Barack Obama was first elected, I truly believed that he was going to fucking change shit. So, I'm right there with you, or I was right there with you, until I decided that, maybe it's time to do my own fucking research. Maybe it's time that I stop letting fucking talking heads or voices on a fucking radio or whatever. Maybe it's time to stop letting them fucking speak for me, and maybe just go out there and look for myself. Now, I know it seems counterproductive, because I am a fucking voice on coming through a speaker telling you what to do. I get that. And I'm not saying, you don't have to take my fucking word for it. I always say this every time I fucking lecture you guys. You don't have to take my fucking word for it. Just go look it up for yourself. Go see if my perspective on things is so outrageous. And yes, it requires you to look beyond your normal fucking sources of fucking information. If you're looking at MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, you're reading the newspapers, you're listening to some fucking radio station, you're not informed. Because there are 6 fucking telecommunication companies in control of 100% of the media. And do you really think that these 6 corporations that are in control, you really think they're going to tell you, you really think they're going to badmouth themselves? That like, oh, yeah, we're an oil company, but you really should stop using oil. On what fucking planet would that ever fucking happen? So if you are watching anything on cable news or local news, or you're listening to the fucking radio, or you're reading that fucking paper, you're not informed. You're informed to a degree, but you're not being told the entire fucking story. And I could make recommendations of where you should find your information, but then it comes off as maybe I'm spreading fucking propaganda, which is why I said you must look for yourself. Look into, if you're one of these people that was like, oh, Hillary would have been awesome, look into her fucking history. Look into the things that she got behind. Like the Patriot Act, like the Iraq War, like NAFTA, like TPP, like fucking taking over Libya and basically turning that country into a failed fucking state. Being on board for pretty much every single fucking war or battle that we are currently fucking fighting and spending billions and trillions of fucking dollars on. Look at, with this whole, with all this fucking sexual harassment shit. Look how they treated the ladies that fucking accused her husband of shit. And then come tell me about how she's some sort of feminist fucking hero. Go look at the fucking, they have footage of it where she does refer to young fucking males that are in gangs as fucking predators. Now, a lot of people like to get hung up on, well, she never said black youth. But let's be fucking realistic. When you think of fucking gangs, especially during the time that she made this fucking statement where the gang violence was out of control in fucking Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago's still fucking out of control, and other places. Tell me, were they talking about all the supposed white gangs? Were they really talking about that? Because just because you want it you want to believe that she wasn't basically calling young black males, or let's just say young people of color males, predators, just because you want to believe that does not make it so. We all know who she was fucking talking about. Maybe she didn't specifically say, oh, young black males, but we know what she was fucking talking about. And I know you're saying, oh, doesn't that make you racist? You're automatic. No, it makes me fucking intelligent. It makes me fucking just have some common goddamn sense to know that she isn't talking about the fucking KKK or the fucking whatever. We know who she was fucking talking about. And the fact that you're in denial about it is, I would say that's more fucking racist than anything else, because you're basically trying to convince people that, oh, she meant like the fucking Hawaiians, that she meant the, I don't know, the fucking Bolsheviks or some shit. Give me a fucking break. And all of these things are on, you can look them up, you can see for your fucking self. And I'm not just focusing on her because I know there's somebody out, oh, you're just focusing because she's a woman or because she's a white woman or whatever the fuck. Just look at fucking the things that Barack Obama got behind. Look at the things that fucking Bill Clinton got behind. I know you're saying, well, what about the fucking Republicans? Well, here's the thing. And I've said it before. When it comes to Republicans, there's just certain things that you should already expect, right? You should expect that they are going to try and shit on the poor, that they're going to try and cut fucking funding to everything that would help anybody. You can count on them being for fucking any sort of war. You can count on them for wanting to make the rich and wealthy even more rich and wealthy. There's no surprise coming from the Republicans at this fucking point. But the problem is that whenever Democrats get into power, people are convinced that they are a better fucking, side of the fucking coin. That they're fighting for the people. that they're on the side of minorities, and they're on the side of fucking workers, and they haven't been on the side of fucking workers since fucking like 1978 or some shit. This idea that the Democrats are better is a fucking farce. And all it takes is you to actually look into the shit that they got behind. Bill Clinton started he passed NAFTA, which was guaranteed to be a job killer. It basically opened the doors for corporations to take their factories and move them overseas or across the border, and thus cause people to lose their fucking jobs. Bill Clinton passed that. Yes, it was originally a Republican fucking plan, but they couldn't get it done because Republicans just naturally have this fucking this aura of fucking evilness about them. They couldn't get it done, so it took a Democrat to fucking do it, and he did. His fucking crime bill exploded the fucking the prison population, especially with the creating the fucking 3 strikes rule, where it didn't even matter if you were arrested, for something that wasn't fucking violent. You go to prison forever because you committed. I know there's some people like, well, you shouldn't be committing fucking crimes. Well, considering that you could end up with a felony for fucking smoking a joint, I would say that, maybe they should fucking re-examine the whole war on drugs and shit. But Bill Clinton fucking, his crime bill exploded the fucking prison population. And is it really any, is it a fucking coincidence that him and fucking Hillary are highly invested in private prisons? I wonder. Fucking Hillary Clinton voted 30-something times for TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which was basically just NAFTA on fucking steroids. She voted 30-something times for it before she was against it. Bill Clinton started fucking DOMA. Now, for those of you who are like, well, what the fuck is DOMA? DOMA is the Defense of Marriage Act, which basically was a big fuck you to gay people that wanted to get married. And Hillary didn't even drop her fucking stance on gay marriage until 2013, 4 fucking years ago. There's even talk that Bill Clinton was, it's not even there's talk. I guess there's fucking proof of it, that him and Newt Gingrich were trying to silently fucking, what was it? I forget what the fucking phrase it is. Privatize. They were secretly trying to privatize Social Security. In fact, they were very close to doing that. But then the Monica Lewinsky thing happened, and that entire fucking thing got blown out of the water. Now, for those of you who are like, well, what the fuck does that mean? It means that basically they wanted to take fucking the Social Security and invest it in Wall Street and let that fucking decide whether or not when you retire you have actual money to fucking fall back on. That's what Bill Clinton tried to do. Bill Clinton is the one that signed in the fucking Telecommunications Act, which he deregulated. He deregulated the telecommunications industry, which basically opened the doors for what we have now, where we have 6 corporations in control of all media. Bill Clinton did that. So, so this idea that, Democrats, they're such good fucking people is horseshit. Now, let's look at fucking Barack Obama. And this podcast is getting very long, but, whatever. Barack Obama, as I mentioned earlier, bailed out the fucking banks that created the fucking housing or financial crisis, or the financial fucking crisis, which resulted in fucking millions of people losing their fucking homes. He bailed those fucking cunts out. He he strengthened the Patriot Act, which basically led to there no longer being habeas corpus in this country. And for those of you like, well, he didn't get rid of habeas corpus. Go talk to the fucking people still sitting in fucking Guantanamo Bay that haven't seen, a day in fucking court. The Patriot Act basically gave the power of the government that if they labeled you a fucking terrorist, which kind of goes back to, remember when I was talking about how they're trying to label protesters terrorists, that if they label you terrorist, they could fucking send you to GITMO without a fucking trial, and you can just sit there and rot. Obama he fucking strengthened that. He fucking made the Bush era tax cuts permanent. He took the 2 fucking illegal wars that we were in, thanks to fucking George W. Bush, and extended them to 7. He gave us a right-wing healthcare plan when for the first 2 years of his presidency, he could have given us single payer, or at the very least a public option. But instead, he gave us fucking Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, which is basically just it was thought up in a right-wing think tank and was implemented in Massachusetts under fucking Romney. It was basically Romney Care. Well, that's what he gave us. Not one fucking banker has been prosecuted. He let the police fucking crack the heads of the Occupy Wall Street protesters. When it came to fucking DAPL, the Dakota Access Pipeline, he, even though it was on the news that these people were being fucking abused by the police, did he do anything about it? No. He said, let it play out. During the general election, he pushed for the TPP. At this point, Hillary Clinton had decided that, nobody likes TPP, so I'll be against it now, as she's known for doing. But during the general election, Obama was still pushing for TPP. The list goes on and fucking on as to the reasons that Obama was a shitty fucking president, that Bill Clinton was a shitty fucking president, that Hillary Clinton would have been a fucking horrific fucking president. And they all hide behind the guise of being, we're the party of the people. Bull fucking shit. There hasn't been an example of that since fucking forever. Clinton fucking, he busted up the fucking unions, which took any fucking power away from the fucking unions to, negotiate fucking wages or any of that shit. He fucking was in charge of busting those up. So, for those of you that are still like, it's those people's fault, the ones with the darker skin color, or the people that fucking kneel on the mats and pray to that other type of wizard, or those people that are fucking picking the fucking cherries. It's their fucking fault. If you're still blaming those people after listening to this, assuming that you are listening to this, then you are choosing to continue to be a fucking idiot. Or if you're the people that are like, if we had only had fucking Hillary, this, shit wouldn't be as fucked up. You are also choosing, after listening to this, to continue to be a fucking idiot. And if you're on fucking Twitter or Instagram or any other fucking social media site bitching about how, net neutrality is disappearing, and, and you're not fucking doing anything except starting fucking hashtags, you too are continuing to be a fucking idiot. If you really think that hashtags and petitions and fucking peaceful fucking protests are going to change the behavior of these fucking rich cunts, you're a fucking idiot. You want to change shit, you got to get out there and do shit. Plain and fucking simple. Plain and fucking simple. And with that, I'll end the fucking podcast because I realize I'm about an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half in. I hope it was fucking enjoyable. You know, if it wasn't, I don't really give a fuck. But anyway, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. You know, for those of you that have had the fucking week off, unfortunately, you know, come Monday, the bullshit starts up again. So, you know, my sympathy. So, you know, I would suggest that you just you keep enjoying yourself till about, I don't know, 5:30 on Sunday evening. But anyway, so yeah, I'll fucking be back next week. Chances are you won't. I'll have to go back to my regular schedule of Tuesdays and Thursdays and occasional fucking podcast on Fridays. Because, you know, my life starts up again as well. So yeah, so I'll fucking see you then. I hope you have a good fucking weekend. I hope you had a good week. And, you know, just like always, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.